I want to show you how to install Infixedu in shared hosting. Also, I will complete Zoom module installation. So I want to start from beginning so that it is easier to understand. I go to the file manager. Now I can upload the file from here. So when uploading, at the same time I can do some work like database widget. I have completed the upload. Now I can go file manager and reload. Now I need to make sure from the setting here is the show hidden files, because .env file and some of the files like stxs file, those are hidden file. If you don't show this file, you can see and you can configure. So I request you must tick mark this option to show hidden file. Now you can start. Now you can see actually how to what is the version 4.5.3. Now we can select all and move. I need to actually remove this one. Okay, now you can see here is the env file. I just remove unwanted folders. Here is the env file. If you actually don't show the hidden file, then you can see the env file. So now you can edit. I have copied the password and paste it here, and you know the database username, you can copy from here. And here is database name. Nothing you need to do in the env file, done. Just you need to confirm database information is correct, and double quotation must be required, otherwise your system cannot be run for the installation. Now what you need to do, just hit the URL like so. It's come for the installation. You can go for the installation. You can give the email address which you are using and the purchase code and the domain. So I am using the domain ux7.com, so I give the domain name here like this, and your purchase code. Provide purchase code. You can after click you can see the next screen. Now you can give the name like Infixedu 45. It is version 3. I can give the name 3, and I use the email address and password. Minimum 6 character is required. Let's go. I think it is requires a few minutes due to shared hosting. It is actually I am showing in the shared hosting, so sometimes it's required time. It's depend on your server speed. If your server is slower, that sometime cannot install, all of the table. In our system we have around 200 table, so it is actually depend on your hosting, and your hosting company is not good or server not good, that time you might be failed to installation and you can't log in properly. So take the email address, keep the note. If you forget the admin login, you cannot actually go to the system. So I request you, you should remember or keep copy the information, then you can go for login. For the forget password or recovery password, actually you need to install the from the system email setting until it is confirmed email setting is working perfectly, otherwise forget password never work. So make sure after log and my given password, then you need to make sure system email setup is working perfectly. Okay, it is fresh new installation. You can see 0 student, everything is 0 here. So installation is done. After the installation you need to create a class section and then you can import the student or add the student. So we have another video, you can go there. Now I want to show you how to active module, Zoom module. So here is the instruction I can show you. In our support you can go there, you can see the link. Here is the process. First step 1, step 2, step 3, you need to do this. You can copy this code and you go to the env file, edit. You can place anywhere, no problem, just make sure it is without any additional character. Save env file, done. Now you need to actually second one, it is for version until 4.5.3. so you need to go to composer.json, composer.json, edit. Here you can see mention required and comma. So if already in our JSON file required is already available, so you need to just add the line. I think this one only. Additional space you need to remove. Just save. So here is the configuration, might be you required those, not required. We already have those part, so we just install Zoom module requirement. So I just added this line under requirement, save and close, done. So our second part is done. Now third, you need to actually run terminal something. You need to go to the CD and composer directory. If I go to my terminal and I can I have already set up the SSH, so SSH and UX7 I just turn. It is automatically login. Now cd www/infix451. You need to make sure location is perfect, which is infix451. Also you can check ls command, infix451, it is correct. Now you can run composer update. So cd directory already we got. Now composer update. Simply you need to make sure unwanted space sometimes come with the enter. Sometimes it is taking 2-3 minutes, so I just pause the video and when finish I will back to you. So when you see package manifest generated successfully, now you can exit. Your work is done. So second part, you can find modules folder. So here is already by default 2 module. We need to upload another module. In the download folder, you can see here is the documentation also, online doc link which already I show you, and another is updated files. Here is the actually two system, one is files, another is SQL files, and also we provide the keys from here also. So first we need to replace the files. So we can upload file here, you can go there. Sorry, here is the actually module, I just from here. So first we can add the module from here. Okay, done. Reload, extract the module. Please don't rename the module. If you rename, system cannot recollect the module name, so it will not work. So you need to make sure, just simply unzip, don't do anything. Now you go to the root folder, which is your main folder. You can upload here the replace files. It is done. Reload. Here you can see replace files, unzip, min extract, reload, replace files. It is very easy. You can select all of the files and move. Just select the folder, root folder, which is the main folder. Just click on move. It's automatically placed in the right directory, so you don't need to require place single by single or something else. Now we need to do database import. First, here is the task. You need to remove 2 table and import 3 table. So I need to go home and PHP myadmin. So after PHP myadmin, you need to check you are the right database. After done, you can select infix underscore. Infix underscore, you can see here is the file info module, another is permission assign. You make sure you are selecting the right infix module infos and infix permission assigns to file. So I think I select the right to table infos and permission assign. Now you can select here drop. Make sure you uncheck the foreign key check. Yes, remove. So you need to import more to table. That time you need to make sure import first infix module infos, because if you don't import the module info, then those table cannot configure, so it will make a big problem. So you must import the infix module infos first. So here the import, you need to make sure uncheck the foreign key and browse. The download folder, we give already provide 3 SQL file. First you need to import module infos. I think our database information import is done. Module upload also done. File replacement also done. So we need to go in our system here. Under the system setting, you found module manager. Just click on that. Now you need to provide the purchase key. When you download from the Code Canyon, you will receive also purchase code. If you don't have the purchase code, you need to go to your account, and under the product you will found download purchase code as a PDF, also text. After enter the purchase code verification successfully, then your module is actually disable. You need to enable. Just click the switch, it will automatically enable. So operation success. Now you need to simply reload. You can see in the bottom here is the virtual class. You need to first go to setting. Here is the some dummy key. It is actually not work, so you need to register with your Zoom application. I just go to the Zoom. I have already logged in here, so you need to go solution, app, marketplace. So in the developer you can build a new app, nothing is special. You need to select this one, JWC, and go on. As I already have the app already, so I go to manage, and here is the app. It is already activated. You need to make sure after create the app it should be activated. Sometime you provide the information that sometime not work, because if your app is not activate, that not work. So sometime it is happen. Copy this information, paste it here, copy this, paste it here, update. After save, you just keep in mind last it 8G, and here is QC, and open your env file, go to edit, and make sure your zoom information 8G QC, it is written here. If not get here, that means your file not saved. So sometimes it is happen for the file permission. Our file permission in 644. If it is not for 644 or less security, in that case you might cannot write the information from the system. So as it is written, it's working. Here is some settings you can set up as per your requirement. This setup actually we bring from the Zoom. So which one you want and what is the your requirement, you can see here is the package. Which package you have, you can select from here, and here is some setup. Join before host, participant can share video, host video, etc. Now our system is fresh. If you go to the dashboard, you can see here is no student, no teacher, no parents. So first before you create anything, you need to create section. Without section you cannot create class. Our system is actually keep the relation with the class and section. Now when you create the class, if you skip the section, that make big problem, because when you want to register any student, they require the section. Without section you can't register the student, so it is make a big problem. So when you create any class, you make sure you select the section also. Without section it's not work. So now I'll create one student, add student, the class 1 which I created, and section 1, first name, I just mentioned which is mandatory, others I can skip. Here is the year. I just make sure some information here. The student can log in with the admission ID and default password. Our system automatically generate for student, parents, teacher, any staff without super admin. Auto generate password for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you need to follow this. So this is the admission ID as the first student. So a student will log in with admission ID and password. And parents must be required unique email address, because parents will log in with this info, I mean this email address as a username, and password is default password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is mandatory, so you need to provide this information. Just save the student. Now we need to create at least one teacher. Another human resource, click on staff directory, add staff. Teacher also as a staff, so you can select the role here. Actually, as role you select, they will act like that. If you change the role permission in the system setting, we have extensive role system, so you can set up from here. I just go forward. Teacher email is mandatory, because without email teacher cannot log in. Address also mandatory, and salary. So teacher will log in with email address and default password. So we have ready. If you visit the dashboard, you can see at least one student, one teacher available here. So we can create the virtual class. Otherwise it is not possible, because without class, without teacher, without student, you cannot create the virtual class. We have two options. One is virtual class, one is virtual meeting. Virtual class for the teacher and students, and virtual meeting for the staff and the management, or teacher, or the parents also. So which one you go to create? First we create the virtual class. So here you need to select the class and section, those are mandatory, and also make sure teacher who will take the class. It's a test class. You can write down description if you required. You can give the time, provide here, AM or PM. You can change the date. We can set tomorrow 9 PM or 9 AM, and class duration 40 minutes, and password, you can set up your password from here. And here is the option recurring yes or no. Attachment files, if it is required, you can do. Change default setting yes or no. If you click on yes, default setting will show here, which you was seen in the settings. If not, you can select no and save virtual class. I think virtual class successfully created. So once you see one class is created successfully, that means your setting is perfectly done and it is working perfectly. Unless your setting make problem, you can create actually any classes. So one class already created successfully, that means your system is running perfectly. Thank you very much.